The allegations of involvement in the fake Vietnamese refugee scam, followed by arrest of top leaders, has been one of the very few instances where political heavyweights have been brought to jurisdiction. Now, since the arrest of former Minister for Home Affairs Balkrishna Khand, leaders of mainstream parties intensified discussions, raising quite a few eyebrows. In response, the leaders have clarified that the meetings were not related to the ongoing refugee debacle. Good evening, I'm Prarambha Dahal. Let's begin with the main stories. Police arrest former Home Minister Balkrishna Khand alleged of involvement in the fake Vietnamese refugee scam. UML leader and former Deputy Prime Minister Raimaji still at large. Top brass leaders clarified they will not attempt to influence ongoing investigation into the refugee scam in response to questions raised against their intentions following numerous parleys in recent time. Finance Minister says the government will determine development priorities before allocating budget for the next fiscal year. Assures that issues raised by lawmakers will be addressed. And Church Boys United climbed to the top of the Martyrs Memorial A Division League table, defeating defending champions Machindra. APF thump Army 3-0. Police investigation into the fake Vietnamese refugee scam has intensified. Having held former Home Secretary and Security Advisor to former Home Minister, Nepal Police has expedited investigations by arresting former Minister for Home Affairs Balkrishna Khand as well. Khand is being held for 4 days in judicial custody to facilitate the investigations. Nepal Police, which has been investigating the fake Vietnamese refugee scam for the past 47 days, is heading towards conclusion of the case. The investigation, which began with complaints filed from 2 individuals who had paid a large sum of money to go to the United States of America in the guise of Vietnamese refugee, has now put to fore the wrong practices of the Home Administration with the arrest of former Minister for Home Affairs Balkrishna Khand. Police investigations have shown that Khand, who was the Minister for Home Affairs for a period of a year and a half from the mid of June 2021, had supported the group which was in fact already involved in the fake Vietnamese refugee scam. Police arrested Khand from his own residence after his involvement in the scam was substantiated from the statements of then Home Secretary Tek Narayan Pandey and masterminds of the scam Keshav Dulal and Sanu Bhandari. The fake Vietnamese refugee scam had begun 4 years ago. The task force formed by then Home Minister Ram Bahadur Thapa and Secretary Prem Rai to address the issues of Vietnamese refugees had included 429 individuals other than the real refugees. Instead of correcting the list, Khand and Pandey directed the District Administration Office Jhapa for recertification. Police has said that Khand has been arrested on the basis of facts. Despite being aware about Khand's involvement, police had not received the arrest warrant from the court. However, struggling with the arrest of former Deputy Prime Minister and CPN-UML leader Thop Bahadur Raimaji, police did not want to face similar challenges this time. With this, police has arrested a total of 12 individuals involved in the fake Vietnamese refugee scam so far, including then Home Secretary Pandey, Indrajit Rai, the Security Advisor to former Home Minister Ram Bahadur Thapa, and Thop Bahadur Raimaji's son, Sandeep Raimaji. Based on the latest update, Thop Bahadur Raimaji was still absconding. Police has been conducting investigations into the fake Vietnamese refugee scam and making arrests without any hesitation. In addition to Khand, police is also investigating another former Home Minister Ram Bahadur Thapa, then Secretary Prem Kumar Rai and Maheshwar Neopane, among other officials. Police is also investigating the audio tape where another alleged individual, Sandesh Sharma, is heard speaking with the victims about having paid a large sum of money to Arj Deva and Manju Khand. Now, CPN-UML has suspended its leader Thop Bahadur Raimaji from the party for his alleged involvement in the fake Vietnamese refugee scam. Issuing a statement, UML has informed of suspending former Deputy Prime Minister Thop Bahadur Raimaji from the party. A meeting of the party secretariat held yesterday had directed Raimaji to cooperate with the investigation. According to UML General Secretary Sankar Pokhrel, the party has suspended Raimaji to facilitate investigations into the scam. Prior to this, Raimaji's son, Sandeep Raimaji, was arrested from Rupandhi last Thursday. Pressure had mounted on CPN-UML to take action against Raimaji following the arrest of former Home Minister Balkrishna Khand. Meanwhile, Raimaji had corresponded with the Parliament Secretariat regarding his poor health condition. A letter written to the Speaker dated the 4th of May is understood to have been furnished at the Parliament Secretariat. In the letter, Raimaji has said that he was undergoing treatment and has requested for a sick leave. Senior leaders of three major parties who have been alleged of trying to obstruct the probe into the fake Vietnamese refugee scam have claimed that they would not attempt to influence the police investigations. At a meeting held at the office of the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers in Singhadarbar, Prime Minister and CPN Maoist Center Chair Pushpakamal Dahal, Nepali Congress President Sherbahadur Dewa and CPN-UML Chairperson KP Sharma Oli reached an agreement regarding not obstructing the investigations. Despite regular talks among the senior leaders for the past 3 days, they had claimed that conversations had not been held regarding the fake refugee scam. Public had begun suspecting their roles in protecting the members of their respective parties. Speaking after today's discussion, Prime Minister Dahal claimed that the three leaders had not spoken about protecting anyone. He added that the leaders were on the same page regarding facilitating the investigations. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Home Affairs Naran Kazi Shrestha, who also participated in the meeting for a brief period, said that the senior leaders were in favor of conducting and concluding the investigations in a fair manner. Meanwhile, Nepali Congress Chief Whip Ramesh Lekhak has said that the three leaders spoke about selection of leadership at the parliamentary thematic committees and concluding transitional justice. The top brass leaders have been holding regular parleys for the past 3 days as members of Nepali Congress and CPN-UML have been alleged of involvement in the fake Vietnamese refugee scam. Members of the House of Representatives have called for a fair investigation into the fake Vietnamese refugee scam at today's session of the House of Representatives. Addressing the 0 and special hours of the House of Representatives, parliamentarians have urged the government to ensure fair investigation into the case. Parliamentarians of both the ruling coalition and opposition parties suggested the government to proceed with the investigations without any hesitation. Nepali Congress parliamentarian Gagan Thapa said that the investigation should not be influenced by rumors and ongoing parleys between senior political leaders. Ensuring support from the party, CPN-UML parliamentarian Prithvi Subba Gurung urged the government to focus on the investigations. Several other parliamentarians demanded for investigation into all controversial cases by forming a separate committee. Addressing the session, Rashtriya Prajatantra Party chairperson Rajendra Lingden said that the investigation should not be influenced by any activity and asked the government to update the parliament about the ongoing investigations. Meanwhile, Speaker of the House of Representatives Devraj Ghimire has directed the government to inform and update the House about the fake Vietnamese refugee scam. Rashtriya Prajatantra Party had obstructed today's session of the parliament at the beginning after Lingden was not allocated time immediately after the session commenced. The meeting was then postponed for 15 minutes and resumed. It is now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
What is your take on parties not issuing official statements despite the alleged involvement of their leaders in the fake Vietnamese refugee scam? 29% were for A, heights of lack of accountability, 67% were for B, fear of leadership being alleged of involvement, and 4% were for C, waiting for legal processes. Here is our today's question. What do you term the effort to apply pressure on the President for certification of the citizenship bill endorsed by the previous term of the House of Representatives? Your options are A, move to serve interest, B, ploy to dispute the bill, and C, normal procedure. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Finance Minister Prakash Ran Mahat has said that budget would not be sprinkled across sectors because of limited resources. Responding to questions raised on the principles and priorities of the budget at the House of Representatives, Finance Minister Mahat said that there was no alternative to finding solutions to allocating budget to projects without sources, as doing so added challenges to ensuring capital expenditure. Saying that there were projects exceeding 400 billion rupees without secured sources under the Ministry of Physical Infrastructures alone, Minister Mahat added that such projects would be classified on the basis of priority. Minister Mahat said that the economy was not in a downward spiral and added that the growth rate had slowed down. He also said that there was no alternative to enhancing spending capacity from the very first day of the upcoming fiscal year. Members of the House of Representatives had suggested the government to ensure 20% budget allocation in the agriculture sector. They called for increasing production and creating employment opportunities as well. Despite the assurance of prioritizing industrialization and increasing agricultural production, the parliamentarians shared their doubts on meeting the targets because of the distributive nature of the priorities and principles. Former Finance Minister Janardhan Sharma said that reducing the budget by citing economic crisis would have further negative impact on the national economy. Saying they had assured the public of access to roads, drinking water and education, the parliamentarians also suggested the government to prioritize local development. In our Public Voice segment, we have asked people in several provinces why has the issue of landless squatters remained the same despite the lapse of many years since the formation of the National Land Commission. Let us now take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
देशको राजनीतिक राम्रो भयो भने अनि सबैको राम्रो हुन्छ र सुकुम्बासीहरुको पनि राम्रो हुन्छ.
नेताहरू एउटै कुरामा आउँछन् गर्दिन्छु भन्छन् सुकुम्बासीहरु जस्तोको त्यसै हुन्छन्.
राजनीतिक रूपमा अब हेरिने हुनाले अलिकति सुकुम्बासी समस्या चाहिँ समाधान नभएको जस्तो लाग्छ.
यही भित्तामा दिए भने एउटा टहर बनाएर बस्न दिए त हुन्थ्यो. हामीलाई के एउटा व्यवस्था गरेर राखिदिनु पर्यो हैन भने हामीले यस्तो बालबच्चा बोकेर हामीले कसरी कमाउने कसरी खाने
खै सरकारले हेर्नुपर्ने हो.
बास पाइन्छ कि भनेर आएर बस्न आएको यतातिर पनि डोजर लगाइदिने उठाइदिने भन्नुहुन्छ.
वास्तविक सुकुम्बासीको हो भन्ने परिचय नै हुन नसकेर हो.
भोट चाहिँदाखेरि हामीलाई प्रयोग गर्ने भोट सिद्धिएपछि उहाँहरूले जितेर सिट पाएपछि हामीलाई नचिन्ने.
दोष राज्यको हामीले कुनै दोषी हैन.
हामीले लाल पूर्जा दिन्छौँ भनेर हजुर भन्दै उहाँहरू सबै आउनुहुन्छ. जितेर गएपछि कुन दल पनि कोही फर्केर यहाँ आउँदैन.
सरकारले सुकुम्बासी जस्तो भइसक्यो.
सुकुम्बासीलाई भोट ब्याङ्क मात्रै बनाउँछ.
भयो भन्ने बेला ढली जान्छ अर्को आउँछ. अब दोष कहिकन बनाऊ. आज
सुकुम्बासी आयोगलाई काम गर्ने खालको सक्रिय नि बनाइदैन. त्यहाँ राजनीति रङ्गभेद हुन्छ.
सुकुम्बासीको लाल पूर्जा वितरण पाउनको लागि त सुकुम्बासीको नेता पुग्नु पर्यो के त्यहाँ.
आज होलो नै भोल होलो नै यसै जिन्दगी जान लाग्यो. अब
आयोग बन्यो भनेर आउने आफ्नो भुँडी भर्ने पुणा जाने.
राजनीतिक दलको कारणले गर्दा हामीलाई चाहिँ टार्दै गइराखेको छ.
Sports News.
Church Boys United have secured a 2-1 win over defending champions Machindra Football Club to return to the top of the Martyrs Memorial A-Division League. In the match played at the Anfa complex in Saddovato, Church Boys applied pressure against Machindra since the very beginning. The defending champions were without Bimal Ghartimagar and captain and first choice goalkeeper Bisal Shrestha in today's match. Church Boys led through Anjan Bista in the 40th minute, but Machindra equalized through Omolaha Noor and Karim as he converted a penalty in the 66th minute. However, Machindra conceded an own goal in the 71st minute, which saw Church Boys secure crucial 3 points and return to the top of the table with 30 points from 16 matches. Second place Jawala Khel have 27 points, while Machindra are fourth with 24 points. A 3-1 Army club have suffered a 3-0 defeat against Armed Police Force at the A-Division League. Armand Bedom put the APF ahead in the 41st minute. Awash Lamichane doubled their lead in the 56th minute, while Navin Lama found the back of the net in the 61st minute to seal a 3-0 win for APF against their departmental rivals Army. After being 3 goals down, Army created some opportunities but failed to convert them and ended up in the losing side. Army have collected only 5 points from their 5 recent matches. 11th edition of the Kantipur Half Marathon is slated for the 20th of May. This year's Half Marathon is set to be held with the theme Let's Go Green Together. The 11th edition is also set to include College Run, where students of colleges will cover a distance of 7 kilometers. In addition to College Run, the event will include Half Marathon, corporate and wheelchair races. Winners of the Half Marathon will receive 100,000 rupees each. Athletes securing up to the 6th position in each categories will receive prizes. The half marathon will begin from the office of the Kantipur Media Group in Central Business Park and traverse through Maitighar, Baneshwar, Jadibuti, Kottagar before returning from Salagari to Central Business Park via the same route. Gopi Chandra Parki had won the men's category, while Rajpura Pachai had won the women's category in the previous edition of the Kantipur Half Marathon. Up next is the weather update. That is all for the moment. Up next is the news in Nepali. Thank you for staying with us. Goodbye for now.